Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Abby and today I'm doing a really casual plant care day with me. I've been back and forth between our new house and our flat, and all my plants are at the flat, so there are big periods of time where I don't check in on them, water them, all of that kind of thing. So I'm just going to do a little update really, and do it live, so as I'm kind of updating myself with my plants and seeing the situation. I do think there are some that need some sort of help, either because they're too close to the window and it's cold now, and then there's some that I'm not sure what's wrong with them. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and let's just get straight into it. So I haven't even started my plant chores yet, and I just got an email from Carol's saying we have new stock. And it's like a really big onomospole epipremnum Cebu blue. And as you would have known, I've got a 2-leaf cutting, which I just potted up and I love it. And this is £70, it's so expensive. And I don't ever spend like my money on plants, if that makes sense. So if I was to sell some plants, then I would use that money to go towards new plants. If I make some money, like a little bit of money from YouTube, I'm talking like little, it kind of goes towards a pot, and then I have like a plant fund. So I technically have a plant fund, but I really like the Cebu blue, and having done that swap and got the 2-leaf cutting, which I'll show you the progress on it. One looks like it maybe didn't transition well. I don't know. I need to have people's opinions on that. But this Cebu blue moss pole has got, and I'll put a picture on the screen, they've got fenestrations as well, and it's so pretty. So I'm just like telling myself, it's okay, you deserve this, but £70 is really, really expensive. I don't know when my mind changed towards looking at plants that price and thinking that's acceptable. It's not acceptable. £70 is so expensive. I mean, we're looking at buying like an air fryer, like a Ninja one. Because we'll be using it for a long time, we'll be without a kitchen for a long time, we thought we would get something like the dual one that has 2 compartments, and you can cook things at different times. So you can put your protein in, and then you can put your potatoes in or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, we thought we'd splash out, and that's about 150 to 170 quid, which is really expensive. So it's taken me ages to hype myself up to buy something that we need to eat. And then there's this plant for £70 that comes along, and I'm like, oh, like I'm really considering it. But I know what my husband would say. He'd say, get it, which always encourages me. I don't know. But I'm gonna actually check out Grow Tropicals, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. I haven't screen recorded this, so I'll just put the pictures on the screen of what I'm interested in. But they did have, oh, I don't think they have it anymore. Oh wait, deals and offers. Yeah, they do. They've still got sales on. And I'll put the links for the sales in the description below, because Grow Tropical sales are really good. So they've got like an epipremnum varagata. It's a 2-leaf cutting, and it's kind of got like new growth points for £35. That's really pretty. I'm not saying it's the same plant. I know it's not the same, and I know it's nowhere near the same, but I feel like, and I've seen it in person and it's beautiful, I feel like it's too similar to my variegated peace lily in terms of leaf shape and variegation, so I probably would say no to that. And they've got the Amidirium medium silver, which, as you guys know, is like a massive wish list plant for me. And that's like a 2-leaf cutting, really big, really beautiful, 95 down to 50, but I just don't know if I can spend that much on a cutting. Then they've got the Monstera that I swapped with someone, which is beautiful. That's 20 down to 30 down to 20. So yeah, they've got really, really good offers on. They've got a Burmarks Fantasy 5-leaf, 250 down to 165. I think that's really expensive, but I really appreciate that it's a really rare plant. This is the one I like, the Amidarium medium varigata. That's the one I really liked. It was like really, really mottled in person. This is just, I do this all the time. I do it all the time. So if I go to Rich Rainforest, I always check him out because he sometimes has rare plants like, no, he's not got any more stocking. I'm going to see if that plant that I advertise, like I told people about on my Instagram, is available. It says it's available, which makes me think that it's not that actual plant, you know, otherwise I would have sold out by now, because when I put that on my Instagram, so many people were like, thank you so much, I love this, I'm going to go see if I can buy it. And if they all did, then it wouldn't still show on the website. That's really beautiful, but I'm kind of less scared with Syngonium because I'm really good at reverting them. Like, I'm really good. So I don't know. But yeah, they've got a Hoya Eskimo, which I adore. It's £4. They got so many plants. Brantianum, I want another one to kind of marry with mine, so it's a bigger plant, £12.99. Oh, I really want to go shopping on Cowell's. Shop online. And I'm just going to check out the houseplants very quickly. So yeah, there's nothing else that I'm keen on other than the Epipremnum Cebu Blue. But it's just so expensive, so I don't think I'm gonna go for it. I'll probably just think about it, and then by the time I make a decision, if it is a yes, they'll be gone. I just feel like it's a good price, but then sometimes like Cowell's are really well priced, but sometimes they are just normal prices, and it makes me think, like, I'm noticing trends which I've actually mentioned before, where one shop will get a certain size of plant, and then all the rest kind of, you could still have the same kind of supplier, and then all the rest do, and then if you just wait a little longer, you can get it for a better price. Although I do like Cowell's, I really like them, so I wouldn't be mad if it was more expensive there, but I don't know. That's a lot. I think I'm just going to park that one for now. This is what I repotted a couple of weeks ago. This is the leaf I was talking about. So this one is okay. That looks really pretty and normal. This one's limping a bit and it's kind of discoloring. Can you see that is more of a silvery blue? And then this one is more of a green, but the new growth point is coming in green. So then I started thinking it's getting too much light, but I haven't changed the light situation. It's just gone from being water propagated under the same light in the same area to now being in pon. So yeah, I'm not sure about this one. This feels a little limp. It normally has some resistance. These have more resistance here. So yeah, I don't know if it's just a transition thing. I said to people I would normally keep an eye on it, which I have been keeping a close eye on it. And if in doubt, I'd put it back to water, but I think I'm going to leave it a little longer and see how it goes. But I did water it this morning, and I fed it. So fingers crossed it's okay. It's so beautiful. It really is so beautiful. I'm just a bit gutted, but anyway, there's a new growth point here on the Cebu Blue. You can see it here actually, it's like neon. And then that's like your normal colour. So if that dies, I feel like I have more reason to need the other plant. I don't know. This is the other Epipremnum normal green version that I potted up. That's doing fine. It's doing really well. It's always had quite a sharp kind of drop. You know, it's never really stood up like the Cebu Blue, but really well. Cute. My Brantianum is doing wonders. Let me just grab it. It's too long for where it sits now. I think I could do with watering this actually. Yeah, definitely needs a water already. So since I cut it, you can see I made the cut here, just where my thumb is. It's pushed out this leaf, which is so pretty. It's pushed out this leaf literally only recently, and you can see it's a little bit like, almost like deformed, but it's fine. And then you've got another new leaf coming through, which is cool. So I'm gonna just water this one now. And that's actually still sitting in that plastic cup of soil. So I've not rescued it from that yet, but I do think it's happy. This is my amazing Hoya Morellii. And I wanna show you this one because I've had it sun stressing for a while, and it will go kind of like bleachy, but these leaves are growing really big, and they're super red and intense. Like, it's doing really well. I'll see if I can find a picture of it as a before, but you can see it, obviously it wants to grow straight, but it's kind of going to the light, so I do turn it. But yeah, it's like got another leaf coming, another 2 leaves there, and then that is eventually going to be more leaves, but probably not for a while. But yeah, I really love this leaf here. It's so cool. And you can see with this one, that side of it is sun stressed, but the side where the leaf has been over it isn't. And I just think that's like really interesting. See, that sits on my top shelf, so it does get intense light, just like my Hoya Sunrise do. Very intense light, and they seem okay. Everything else, like this Monstera varigata that I potted up in, I took the cutting before I went on holiday, so I remember I looked back on it because I was looking at progress, and I was super tan, so I think it was like in summer before I went on holiday. And I potted it up maybe about 2 months ago. Nothing has happened other than that really long root. But it does again look like it's working on something, but it's not one that sits really close to my heart because of, I find it a little bit underwhelming. And I cut it all the way back to help the mother plant, you know, get more variegation, but we'll see, it's an experiment. I do think I've washed this leaf out a bit, as you can probably tell. So this one's a bit darker and glossier, and this one's a bit more washed out. So I've moved it from my second shelf down to away. So it's not actually on the shelf anymore, it's just on the table next to it. So you guys wouldn't have seen this, but this is what I did off screen after, and I promised you I would do it. I've got more yellowing leaves. It's in a self-watering pot. The water is kind of min-max. It's between min and max. It depends on how I hold it, but it's kind of like in between. It doesn't need any attention. It's in pon. It's very dirty. But yeah, it's doing okay. It's looking like it's in bad shape, and it's still giving me yellow leaves. So I'm gonna cut those dying ones off. But yeah, it's all right. It's one that I kind of regret buying, but I did, like I said, I did buy it for really cheap. But I think it was like a big pot of it was, I bought it at half price. It was either £20 or it was 12, I can't remember, but I've enjoyed it whilst it's been playing game, but now obviously I'm getting a bit stressed with how much it's deteriorating, essentially, because it's now in pon, it's now in a self-watering pot, it's not in terracotta, it's not in a glazed terracotta pot, it's in plastic. What else can I do? It's getting filtered light. So I don't know with this one, it's a problem child. So this next one is my Hoya Macrophylla pot of gold. Really pretty. You might not think it's changed much, but these top 3 leaves, like this one, and these 2 are new. That's obviously smaller, which is fine. That's a nice size. And it's pushed all of this out, and it looks like it's gonna give me leaves here eventually. You'll never see that, but trust me, it needs a water. I'm gonna water it now. It's super light. Super light and super, super, super dusty. Like intensely dusty. Oops, I'm gonna go water that now. So that's all that's really happening on this plant shelf. Everything else, winter, slow progress. I'll show you some of the unsuccessful ones. This is my Syngonium mojito. This is all the new growth, all reverted, all yellowing, all sad. I don't know. I really don't know with this. This is what's put me off Syngonium. It was my favourite plant when I did a swap with someone and I got 2 leaves. And they were beautiful, so beautiful. But now it's just giving me issue after issue. And it would be okay if it had just reverted and it was still like a bushy plant, but it's reverting. And it's also losing leaves, so I'm not sure. I've never really had such a problem with Syngonium before. But yeah, your recommendations for this are welcome. You see, it's kind of green on green. You don't really have that white anymore. I asked a few people and they said it needs less light. And then I asked someone at a rare plant shop and they said it needs more light. So it's on the 3rd shelf down. It's the same, it's right next to my Syngonium albo, which is doing wonderfully. But the mottled doesn't seem to like life. So I'm not sure. It's another one that's very dusty. I'm thinking, why is it so dusty? Because I keep my windows closed and the building work has kind of very, very recently, like in the last few days, finished on my side of the building, but the windows are closed. It's so dusty in this flat because we're above the main city ring road. But yeah, that is actually officially it for this shelf. The next place I want to show you is the wall shelves where I have my plants. We've got some changes, but we've got a plant that I really love that isn't declining. So I'm really happy about that. So I'll turn you around and show you what I'm talking about. So this is the plant that isn't declining, which I was really scared about. I bought it from IKEA and I brought it home and it was really struggling, but it seems, touch wood, it seems okay. I have noticed this morning that the new growth is coming through. Yellow, which means it's going to die and drop off just like it did then. So yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I don't know if that's just, it's so minimal, it's fine. Everything else seems okay. I thought that was just hanging there. But yeah, it seems like it's doing really well. Fingers crossed, because I absolutely adore it. My beautiful Philodendron varicosum is pushing out a new leaf here. This was the last leaf from the main big kind of stem, and it's a bit smaller. And I want to, once I get that in the house, I want to put it against the wall. So I haven't done it yet because there's no point, but there's that which is still growing. This looks like it needs a water, this Pothos Marble Queen. You can see it needs a water. And I'll get my husband to help me take that down, so I'll water that today. This one's been moved because it's going a bit wild. But yeah, just the same really, nothing changing. Nothing changing. This one has been moved closer to my Grow Style Grow Light. And it's really given me some beautiful leaves, so that's a half and half. Yeah, it's got lots of new growth there and definitely needs a water as well. Oh, does it? I don't know, I'll have to put my finger in that one. But I like that it's finally trailing. I'm so happy with that. And then this one always has yellow leaves I need to take off, and I do believe it's because it's too close to the grow light. So I think I'm gonna just move that along. But it's a bit heavy here on my Pothos shelf. And yeah, I need to fix that light. But yeah, it's a bit heavy there. It's just, I'm not enjoying how this one looks. I think it's too much. So I think I might change that, but I don't want to shock it too much before we move, because it will be shock, and then obviously we'll see a higher chance of a decline. But yeah, there's this little section. So this is my little plant shelf area, usually really full of plants, but it is winter, so it's cold. But my euphorbia is really wonky. This is getting super damaged from being, it's so sad, from being next to it. So I've moved it over. This plant is forever drooping. I need to cut the old leaves off still, but it used to once sit up, but it doesn't anymore. And then I thought maybe it's because it's heavy, because it seems okay, you know, it seems it's growing big leaves, it seems fine. This bit's completely dying, which is sad because it's a big one. Can you just see there, it's like bent, so that's going to drop off soon. But yeah, it's weird. Apparently that means it's thirsty. This bit needs cutting. But I don't know. Again, it's a syngonium. I seem to be really bad with them. This guy's lovely, as always. And then I've moved this one here. This is where my variegated Monstera was, so I've moved him here. Just wild. Absolutely wild. Like, it was giving me the biggest, can you see? It was giving me the biggest leaves. I need to take it to the shower and water him down. But it's just growing so much, and it's like well outgrown its moss pole. I don't have the heart to cut it again. Like, I cut it and I filled it out, and then it just grows so quickly. And then these guys, these are the cuttings I took from my golden dragon. I still haven't cut this off, but I was advised not to cut it off because apparently it kind of puts the plant into further shock and stuff. So I've taken that advice, and it's being left there, and it's a bit ugly. I've got some yellow leaves to sort out here, actually. I can see. Ooh. That threw me then. Really threw me, but this is the alocasia stingray, which I have clearly left on for long enough, so he's coming off. And then I've got the yellow leaves, and I've only just taken some off this, and this is a plant I've had for years, like absolute years, and it doesn't grow, and it really annoys me when I have to take the dead leaves off because it doesn't grow, and I'm kind of going backwards. So I think it's too cold there. I think I'm gonna have to move it. It is a cold spot. But yeah, it's pretty, but it's clearly telling me something. I just take them off so easily, by the way. I think that's everything there. Likewise with this as well. That seems much happier. Now it's in a, I don't know if it's a lighting situation. It's a more dappled light here than over near the window, but it's definitely warmer for sure. So yeah, I've moved this here. It's been here for about 2 weeks now. I like the variegations coming through like more of a greeny colour rather than like the white. It's kind of interesting. Obviously I'm not going to say no to the white. But yeah, that looks much happier there. I have noticed, and I've shown you this before, but that's fine. But there were some parts of it that were super, maybe it was this bit. Yeah, I mean, it's been treated a gazillion times for thrips, any kind of infestation, and also, oh, that's so lovely, and also a bacteria infection, like a fungal infection. So it's been treated so many times. So I trust that it's not that, I think. But yeah, it's starting to kind of grow again. You can see all these new leaves. And I still adore this so much. So I'm happy with that. Now this guy needs to just find another home. Last but certainly not least, I'll sit down so you've got more light. This is a Monstera I bought June, July last year. Can you see? I finally got growth, which is extremely exciting. It came with this leaf, and then this leaf, and then this leaf came after in my care, which is pretty, but I have another leaf, which is so cool. Obviously not to get confused with the one that's like behind it, which was my £6 one for obvious reasons. But yeah, I moved it here because it was on top of the wardrobe and I was thinking it was getting a bit cold. You can see here that I watered it and then this happened, and I thought it's because I watered it and then it was allowed to be cold, and it hasn't gone yet. And I obviously understand that's when you kind of overwater it, but usually fades a lot quicker. It's been, I think it's been a week since I watered it. So yeah, I'll just keep an eye on it. So yeah, I was worried it was cold, but obviously with the water, it's pushed this out, and you can see how chunky it is. Like it's going to be a thick one. I hope it's bigger than this, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that's my crazy Monstera corner. I think everything else in here is, I think it's okay. I've got sections, like quite large sections of a Hoya varigata. Is actually continuing to do it still. There's something wrong with this, so I need to check this out. I've got 2 of these. One of them's absolutely fine. This one, can you see that patch? And I've cut off loads already. You see how on the top it's going black? This one's really unhappy. And I've had a philodendron, I'll just sit myself down because I'm getting tired. I've had a philodendron, no, a Monstera adansonii before, and it did the same thing. It went, when it was sent from Lithuania to England, and it was winter. It was actually just before Brexit, so it was a year ago, actually. My mother-in-law wanted to send me some plants before she couldn't anymore, and it went black and kind of mushy and then died, and it was because of the cold damage. And this is kind of the same, you see? It's going like black. I'll turn you around here so you can see a bit more. It's going black, mushy, and it's dying. So yeah, I watered it thinking it was thirsty. I don't think it was. So it might be a case of checking out the roots. If they're okay, cutting it back and propagating it in water, and then putting it in the other one, because this is what it used to look like. It used to be absolutely beautiful, like really full. And this actually, I'm struggling here, this used to be the smaller one. So this is what it used to look like, but it's obviously not happy, and it's not anywhere, it's just usually sits here in this pot. So I'm not sure. It's not like it gets cold. And then my philodendron Birkin also has a problem. Again, I'm thinking it's because it's cold around here. But you can see here, it's going a bit funny, and there's another one, yeah, on the back of this leaf here. It's going a bit funny. So this is also sad times. So I do think I need to bring them further in. This one's obviously quite close to the window. It's not next to it or touching it or anything, but it is close. But our winter isn't as cold this year as it normally is, so I don't know. The heating's on as well in here, and we don't usually have the heating on, so I'm not sure. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up here. I will love you and leave you all. I really hope you enjoyed this really light-hearted plant care, plant update thing. More about what I'm going to do with my plants, to be honest, but my lunch break is up. I'm going to go back to work, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.